#1 killer of them all, UMBC tweeted, "You up?" at Stephen F. Austin, who responded that they were. Of course, they took down Virginia a couple years ago, which brought congratulations from the Retrievers. And then Evansville, who knocked off #1 Kentucky earlier this year, chimed in as well. And they added a little hangover reference for good measure. I love the small schools talking big, you know what.
Yeah, I'm in on it. It was the end of a streak for Luka Doncic to the Mavs, while the Clippers have yet to lose a game with both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the lineup together. Now 4-0 after the 114-99 win over the Mavs. It was their first time Kawhi and PG both scored 20 points as teammates, and it was the end of Luka's franchise record streak of 4 games with at least 30 points and 10 assists. Still, he's had a remarkable season for more. Here's Stefano Fusaro.
The Clippers dominated from the jump, ended up winning by 15, and they did it with their defense. Now, Paul George was asked what has progressed the quickest as far as coming together with Kawhi Leonard on this Clippers team, and he said the defense, no doubt. That sometimes they don't even have to think of what they're doing on that end of the floor, they just react. And that defense, it really frustrated Luka Doncic. He had a 4 of 14 shooting night with just 22 points, and he was so frustrated, he decided to leave the locker room without speaking to the media following the game.
Keep it NBA. Kemba Walker probable for tonight's Celtics game against the Nets, at least according to the team. Walker was hospitalized after suffering a neck sprain Friday when he collided with teammate Semi Ojeleye during a game against the Nuggets in Denver. By the way, Kyrie Irving won't play against his former team. He is still out with a shoulder injury.
Ohio State leaped LSU as the new #1 team in this week's college football playoff rankings after downing Penn State on Saturday. They had been #2 the last couple of weeks. Rest of the top 5 remain unchanged. LSU #2, Clemson #3, Georgia #4, and Alabama #5. We're getting a peek into the eyes of how the committee thinks coming out with the last 2 weeks of the rankings. For more, here's Kirk Herbstreit.
Alabama sitting there at 5. They have the Iron Bowl. To me, it's all about style points as Mac Jones steps in for Tua. Alabama not only has to win this game, they got to look really good doing it. The reason, teams behind them. Utah potentially, if they keep winning, as a Pac-12 champion, and even Oklahoma as a Big 12 champ. I think both those teams are closing ground on Alabama. And at the end, in the final rankings, I think Utah has the inside track to be that 4th and final team.
We finally have a date set for boxing's biggest rematch. Heavyweight world title holder Deontay Wilder will face linear champ Tyson Fury on February 22nd in Vegas, most likely at the MGM Grand. You may remember their last fight last December was ruled a split draw. And we assumed after being pulled in Sunday's game against the Bengals that Mason Rudolph was a sitting duck. The Steelers make it official, announcing Devin Duck Hodges as their starter Sunday against the Browns after he helped orchestrate a come-from-behind win. Mike Tomlin on the team's thought process behind the switch.
We met as a staff. We decided that we're going to start Duck this week. And really the decision is clear for us.
What have you seen from Hodges that has allowed you to feel that he should be the starter individually? Independent of Mason, what about him?
He has not killed us.
I thought he did a fantastic job, considering he doesn't have a lot of experience. He took to quarterbacking like a duck to water. I'm going to do this all season long. Hey, Anthony Davis is back in the Big Easy tonight for the first time. Your silence is deafening.
All season long.
Since demanding a trade in the middle of his 7th season. I love the puns. As a Pelican, needless to say, AD is expecting that he will not be warmly received by the New Orleans fan base tonight.
Last time I was there, the last maybe 7 or 8 games I played was all boos. So maybe the same. I'm not sure. They're gonna do what they're gonna do as far as the reception. I'm pretty sure every time I catch the ball, it's probably gonna be boos and stuff like that. But as long as we stay locked in, I'll stay locked in and play the game the right way. And we come out with the win. The rest of it doesn't really matter.
We were actually, Matt, hoping for 2 homecomings tonight, but Kyrie Irving is out for tonight's game between the Nets and Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, seeing an ex for the first time since he or she left can be uncomfortable, but it also depends on how it went down.
Fair.
Was it a nasty breakup, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie?
That's bad.
Or did they get fruit baskets from Derek Jeter?
Did we confirm that?
Oh, we have. Scoop Jackson is here with a little history lesson on what AD is in for when he returns to New Orleans.
There are 2 sides to every player's return to the place they once called home. There's the love side, then there's the hate. Both sides are rooted in emotion. Both sides justified. But it's the hate that captivates us. Y'all saw how OKC did KD, but don't trip.
There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again, back-to-back titles, 3 in 4 years.
Sometimes revenge is sweet. AD, he better be on alert for when he has to go back to New Orleans.
Love Davis!
The love. Kemba experienced the love side upon his return to Charlotte. The fans acknowledged. He teared up. All's good. D-Wade got it when he came back to Miami. KG got it when he returned to Minnie.
And this fall, man, this is very tough. And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
LeBron, he's lived through both worlds, experiencing the extreme sides of both love and hate the 2 different times he returned to Cleveland.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are the world champions. Cleveland, this is for you.
In 2 different uniforms under 2 extremely different circumstances. LBJ, Radio Raheem.
From North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
Truth is, there's history here. When MJ had to come back to the Chi as a member of the Wizards.
It's tough playing here. You know, I almost feel guilty playing against it, with the fans and, the appreciation that they paid to me early in the game.
Shaq, when he had to go back to Orlando. The uncertainty of how the human dynamics of love and hate plays out when returns are imminent. Kyrie chose to leave Boston.
This opportunity ahead of us is something that we haven't had in our careers.
KD chose to leave the Bay.
It's very rare we could meet up at this point so we can control our destinies.
Kawhi chose to leave a country.
I want to thank the Toronto Raptor fans, the whole organization really, but now I'm on my next journey.
The new freedom of free agency sometimes comes with a cost. The unpredictability of going back to where you once ruled. Of coming face to face with the rawness of how the people who once loved you really feel about you. Of love and hate.
Man, Scoop Jackson.
Scoop.
Right? Again, a reminder that Kyrie Irving is out, so he is not going to play tonight against the Celtics, but you are going to see that game between the Nets and Celtics tonight at 7 p.m. And our doubleheader continues with LeBron, AD, and the Lakers taking on the Browns' former team and the Pelicans. Both of those games are, of course, on ESPN, but also streaming live on the ESPN app. Still ahead, what cost LSU their #1 spot in the college football playoff and what Ohio State has to do to stay at #1.